Have you ever tried to light a fire without matches, without fuel, without fire lighters? Well, if you haven't, it's not easy. Stick around and I'll show you how I do it when I'm out camping. Welcome to episode 1 of Tips and Tricks, and today I'm going to show you how I use my little flint to light a fire when I'm out camping. Really quickly, first thing about lighting a fire is be careful. Use a fire pit or already established fire, and make sure that you prepare all of your wood and bits and pieces, tinder, before you even attempt to start lighting your fire. So the first thing that you're going to need is a good flint, and this is one that I got off eBay. I'll try and find the link and throw it down in the description below. This is a flint stick that has a flint on top and a magnesium alloy rod underneath, and I'll show you what that's for. The one thing I can tell you when looking for a good flint stick is make sure that it comes with a good quality steel, and then also make sure it comes with a large handle. In fact, I think you want your handle to be larger than the flint stick so you can get a good grip of it. The next thing that you're going to need is some tinder. Now I've got 3 different types of tinder here that I'm going to light up for you today and show you the different ways that I do it. The first that I've got is some dried grass that I've just collected from around this campground. The second is a little bit of dried bark that I found on the ground underneath a tree. And the third is a little bit of a cheat. It's a fire lighter, but these are natural fire lighters. So there is no fuel, there is nothing in them. It's just like compressed cardboard that you can take away and use to get your fires going. Something to remember really quickly is that if you do light your fire using some kind of ignition source such as fuel, diesel, unleaded, or actual like kerosene fire lighters, it's really important that if someone does end up getting burnt and ends up in hospital, make sure that you tell the doctors that you lit the fire using a flammable source. Even if you lit the fire hours ago and then someone got burnt, it's very important to remember that that natural fuel and stuff will stay in the fire, and the fire burns slightly differently to a natural fire. Just a little tip there. Let's get stuck in and we'll light up using the first type, some dried grass that I found. It's really important to remember to get a big lump of grass if you're going to start, and just kind of rough it up a little bit before you get going. Get your flint down in there nice and close and strike away. That easy. So all you do then is throw in your sticks if you wanted that fire to keep going, but there's more than enough there, tinder, to get a fire cranking in a cold night. Now the second way to light a fire is using some dried bark or something that's a bit thicker than dried grass. Now it's a lot harder to get dried bark or a thicker substance to light straight off your flint, and that's where the magnesium rod comes in handy. So I've grabbed myself a nice flat little bit of bark to use as a bit of a base, and all I have to do is use this magnesium rod, file some shavings off, and I'll show you how this works. So all I've done is shaved off a nice little pile of this kind of magnesium rod stuff onto this base bit here. I have my dried bit of bark. All I'm going to do is try and form a nice little pile of this inside the bark here. It's actually a little bit of a delicate process this, but it's really important that you do take your time because you want to kind of get it right. So now I've got my little magnesium pile inside my bark. All I have to do is strike a flint onto it and you'll see what happens. Perfect. So the final way to light the fire is a little bit of a cheats way. It's with these natural fire lighters. These are great little things to keep in your fire lighting kit, just in case you don't have any dry tinder floating around. Another really good thing to keep instead of these is cotton wool buds. They light up very easy off a flint as well. Something very handy just to keep alongside your flint stick. So all I do is just break a cube of this off, and I just kind of open it up and rough it up a little bit. So I end up with just a little pile of kind of firelighter bits in my hand. Now with these, you really want to light the fire in the fire pit, so throw them in there. And all you have to do is strike it a few times with a flint and we should be in business. That's it. Off you go. You got a fire started. Just start with some little bits of twig and stuff on top and build your fire up as you go.
That's a cool shot.
So that's it for Tips and Tricks episode 1. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you were all clicking on the link below or heading to your nearest camping shop to get yourself a flint. Now, I do still carry matches around with me, and I do carry a lighter as well, but I always first light a fire if I can with my flint, because it's good practice. You never know when you're going to run out of matches or run out of fire lighters or lighters, and you need to be able to start a fire just using this out in the bush. So it's a bloody good trick to know. Thanks everyone. Hope to see you around in the next one.